Disclaimer. This video explores speculative and alternative theories about the life of Jesus, which may differ from traditional Christian beliefs. It is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only, and is not meant to offend or challenge anyone's faith. We encourage respectful and open-minded discussion.
Welcome back to Walk with Christ. Today, we're diving into the Old Testament foundation of one of the most important themes in the Bible, sacrifice. Have you ever wondered why sacrifices were so central to worship in the Old Testament, and how it connects to Jesus' ultimate sacrifice? Let's explore this powerful message together and see how it speaks directly to us today. 1. Sacrifices in the Old Testament. In the Old Testament, sacrifices were a key way for people to stay in relationship with God. It wasn't just about offering an animal, it was about seeking forgiveness, expressing gratitude, and acknowledging God's holiness. The book of Leviticus explains how animals, especially lambs and goats, were sacrificed to atone for sins. The idea was simple. The blood of an innocent animal covered the sins of the people. It's a striking image, but one with deep spiritual meaning. The Passover story in Exodus 12 is a beautiful example. God instructed the Israelites to sacrifice a lamb and place its blood on their doorposts. The blood served as protection against judgment, signifying life and safety under God's care. 2. The meaning behind sacrifice. The symbolism of these sacrifices is crucial. It's not that God delights in death, but rather in the heart behind the sacrifice. Acknowledging sin, seeking forgiveness, and trusting in God's provision. Through sacrifice, God was teaching his people about the cost of sin and the value of holiness. But these sacrifices were only temporary. They pointed to something greater that was coming, the ultimate solution to sin. The foundation was laid in the Old Testament, preparing the way for Jesus' coming. 3. Jesus and the fulfillment of sacrifice. Here's the connection to us today. All these sacrifices were preparing us for Jesus, the Lamb of God. He would come to fulfill the old sacrificial system by offering his life once and for all. His blood would cleanse not just for a moment, but for eternity. Through his sacrifice, we are forgiven, loved, and redeemed. When we look at the Old Testament, we're reminded of God's plan, unfolding through time, leading us to the ultimate expression of love, Jesus' sacrifice on the cross. Conclusion. So the next time you read about sacrifices in the Old Testament, remember, they're pointing to something so much greater, the love of God poured out through his Son, Jesus Christ. This is the foundation of our faith, and it reminds us that God has always been working for our redemption. Stay tuned for the next video in this series as we explore Jesus as the ultimate sacrifice. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Walk with Christ for more powerful messages.